Alright, we back with it. We're gonna start this in Isaiah chapter 6. No, in Isaiah chapter 9, verse 6. For unto us a child is born, and unto us a son is given, and the government shall be upon his shoulder, and his name shall be called Wonderful, Counselor, the Mighty God, the Everlasting Father, the Prince of Peace. Of the increase of his government and peace there shall be no end upon the throne of David and upon his kingdom, to order it and to establish it with judgment and with justice from henceforth even forever. The zeal of the Lord of hosts will perform this. Alright, we're going to go now to Isaiah chapter 49. Okay, we're going to go verse 1 through 3. Listen, O owls, unto me, and hearken, ye people from far. The Lord hath called me from the womb, from the bowels of my mother hath he made mention of my name, and he hath made my mouth like a sharp sword, in the shadow of his hand hath he hid me, and made me a polished shaft, in his quiver hath he hid me. And he said unto me, Thou art my servant, O Israel, in whom I will be glorified. Okay, we're going to go verse 5, 6. I already had it circled. And now said the Lord that formed me from the womb to be his servant, to bring Jacob again to him, though Israel be not gathered, yet shall I be glorious in the eyes of the Lord, and my God shall be my strength. And he said, It is a light thing that thou shouldest be my servant, to raise up the tribes of Jacob, and to restore the preserved of Israel. I will also give thee for a light to the Gentiles, that thou mayest be my salvation unto the end of the earth. See, so it's the Israel who's supposed to teach the Gentiles, and not the Gentiles teaching Israel, as we see going on today. So let's fast forward this thing to the book of Hosea, which I ain't gonna lie, it might take me a while to find this. I think it's somewhere around here. Bingo. Alright. We going to Hosea chapter 2 with it. Alright. Hosea chapter 2, verse 14. Right. So we're going to go 14, then 20, then 23. Therefore, behold, I will allure her and bring her into the wilderness, and speak comfortably unto her. Okay. Now we're going to go 20. No, hold on. Okay, hold on. So I'm supposed to be going from 14 to 20. Okay, 14. Therefore, behold, I will allure her and bring her into the wilderness and speak comfortably unto her, and I will give her vineyards from thence, and the valley of Achor for a door of hope, and she shall sing there as in the days of her youth, and as in the days when she came up out of the land of Egypt. And it shall be at that day, saith the Lord, that thou shalt call me Ishi, and shalt call me no more Baali. See, and that's Jesus. He's saying basically that's gonna be his name, Ishi. You know, and basically he talking about the Baali, like y'all calling on Baal and Baalim and Baal and stuff like that, and Baali, right, which are pagans. You know, he said y'all ain't gonna call on them no more. Y'all gonna call on God. So it say, for I will take away the names of Baalim out of her mouth, and they shall no more be remembered by their name. And in that day will I make a covenant for them with the beasts of the field, and with the fowls of heaven, and with the creeping things of the ground. And I will break the bow and the sword and the battle out of the earth, and will make them to lie down safely. And I will betroth thee unto me forever. Yeah, I will betroth thee unto me in righteousness, and in judgment, and in love, kindness, and in mercies. I will even betroth thee unto me in faithfulness, and thou shalt know the Lord. And it shall come to pass in that day, I will hear, saith the Lord, I will hear the heavens, and they shall hear the earth. Alright. So yeah, so when they said is she, when they say I will be called is she, that means the husband, you know, which is pertaining to Jesus being the husband of Israel. That's what it's talking about when they said that she will go into the wilderness. It's talking about the church. It's talking about Israel going into the wilderness. Yeah, this is speaking, this is like a prophecy dealing with the future. So now we're going to go to the book of Ezekiel. Bingo, there we go. And it's the exact chapter I was looking for. This next one over here. No. Chapter 38. Oh, this deep. Now check this out. And the word of the Lord came unto me, saying, Son of man, set thy face against Gog, the land of Magog, the chief prince of Meshach and Tubal, and prophesy against him, and say, Thus saith the Lord God, Behold, I am against thee, O Gog, the chief prince of Meshach and Tubal, and I will turn thee back, and put hooks into thy jaws, and I will bring thee forth, and all thine armies, and horses, and horsemen, all of them clothed with all sorts of armor, even a great company with buckler and shields, all of them handling swords, Persia, Ethiopia, and Libya with them, all of them with shield and helmet. See, it's gonna talk about the people of the East trying to kick it off with Jesus Christ. In the end times, this is exactly what this is talking about. So it say Gomer and all his bands, the house of Togarmah of the north quarters, and all his bands, and many people with thee. Be thou prepared, and prepare for thyself, thou and all thy company that are assembled unto thee, and be thou a guard unto them. At the many days thou shalt be visited. In the latter days, that's talking about the last days, y'all. Thou shalt come into the land that is brought back from the sword, and is gathered out of many people against the mountains of Israel, which has been always waste. But it is brought forth out of the nations, and they shall dwell safely, all of them. Thou shalt ascend and come like a storm. Thou shalt be like a cloud to cover the land, thou and all thy bands, and many people with thee. Thus saith the Lord God, it shall also come to pass that at that same time shall things come into thy mind, and thou shalt think an evil thought. And thou shalt say, I will go up to the land of unwalled villages. I will go to them that are at rest, that dwell safely, all of them dwelling without walls, and having neither bars nor gates, to take a spoil and to take a prey, to turn thy hand upon the desolate places that are now inhabited, and upon the people that are gathered out of the nations, which have gotten cattle and goods, that dwell in the midst of the land. Sheba and Dedan and the merchants of Tarshish, with all the young lions thereof, shall say unto thee, art thou come to take a spoil? Hast thou gathered thy company to take a prey, to carry away silver and gold, to take away cattle and goods, to take a great spoil? Therefore, son of man, prophesy, and say unto God, thus saith the Lord God, in that day, when my people of Israel dwell in safety, shalt thou not know it? And thou shalt come from that place out of the north parts, thou and many people with thee, all of them riding upon horses, a great company and mighty army. And thou shalt come up against my people of Israel as a cloud to cover the land. It shall be in the latter days, and I will bring thee against my land, that the heathen may know me, when I shall be sanctified in thee, O Gog, before their eyes. Thus saith the Lord God, art thou he of whom I have spoken of in old time by my servants the prophets of Israel, which prophesied in those days many years, that I will bring thee against them? And it shall come to pass at the same time, when Gog shall come against the land of Israel with the, saith the Lord God, that my fury shall come up in my face. For in my jealousy and in his fire of my wrath have I spoken. Surely in that day there shall be a great shaking in the land of Israel, so that the fishes of the sea and the fowls of the heaven and the beasts of the field and all creeping things that creep upon the earth and all the men that are upon the face of the earth shall shake at my presence, and the mountains shall be thrown down, and the steep places shall fall, and every wall shall fall to the ground. And I will call for a sword against him through all of my mountains, said the Lord God. Every man's sword shall be against his brother, and I will plead against him with pestilence and with blood. And I will rain upon him and upon his bands and upon many people that are with him, and overflowing rain, and great hailstones, fire and brimstone. Thus will I magnify myself and sanctify myself, and I will be known in the eyes of many nations, and they shall know that I am the Lord. And I think, yeah, that's it. Shalom.